here's the question to kind of start us off with. When you think of Cajon Pass, what are like the shots that come to mind in your head? Like, what are the like iconic spots that you've like always thought about when it comes to Cajon Pass?
Don't I don't know about the specific. I don't know what the specific locations are called,
Okay.
but like I just have clear mental. Yeah, I just have. I mean I know loosely there's like Alray and Sullivan's Curve and Hill 582, but I actually don't even know if those are on Cajon Pass or like somewhere else out in the Mojave in that area.
Yeah.
And I just have clear mental images of like UP and BNSF trains, with the UP further up along the ridge, moving in, in the same direction,
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
next to each other through the pass. Yes.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, this is a great. I'll give you the overview then. So obviously, you're familiar with the map with all of like the
Yep.
all of the
Yep.
everything on it. My map of crazy.
Of course. Yes, I know where. Yes, I know where all the trains that go through the pass are going to and from.
Yeah. So for anybody watching, all of the like the little flags are little shots that I've taken before. So, I used to live in Riverside. I don't know if I ever told you that, but I used to live in Riverside for like 20
I
years.
don't think you did.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the most
I'm
convenient
so
thing.
sorry.
Yeah, I know it was awful. I hated it. But it was
Right?
it
Yeah.
it was convenient because I like lived really close by to Beaumont Hill and Cajon Pass, and so like I could just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
go either where I was a kid. So I'm gonna start at West Riverside just because there are quite a few like because that's where the subdivision starts. There are actually a number
Okay.
of
Yeah.
interesting shots that if you're in the area, like I would check out genuinely. But I'm gonna kind of skim through those and then we'll get up into the pass proper. I've got like kind of three parts to this, which is like West Riverside to Cajon, Cajon to Summit, and then Summit to Barstow. And interestingly, Summit to Barstow is my favorite part of the subdivision. I actually like that area so much more than Cajon Pass itself. Like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Cool. So welcome to Riverside. Be careful down here. It's
Yeah.
kind of gnarly. So there's still, I think as of now, I'm not entirely sure, but as of now, I believe that there's still searchlight signal there. So this is Cridge Street.
Nice.
Yeah, this is Cridge Street. So this whole area, this is where the old UP Los Angeles subdivision, like the old LA and SL, curves off of it's like route through over the Arlington Viaduct, which used to be the largest concrete viaduct in the world, actually, fun fact. And so you can actually just hang out at Cridge Street, and it's actually kind of a fun like little location. This is kind of like the look to the east on the right here. I will say like the Riverside station is like the peak of like 90s architecture, like it's like if the Cheesecake Factory
For that. Yes. Yes.
yeah, it's like the Cheesecake Factory was like a train station, like that.
Totally. Yes. Yes. I mean, I described the architectural style of a building in Beijing
Uh-huh.
that I went to that had a Uyghur restaurant in it. It was intended as like the building I think was intended as sort of like a pro-China like cultural embassy to the Uyghurs
Interesting.
in Beijing, and I described the architecture of it as Cheesecake Factory Moorish.
That's actually incredible. Holy shit. Oh, I love that. Yeah, so you can kind of just like set up at Cridge. I actually don't know entirely if the searchlights are still there. I don't know, like how much do you like signaling technology? Like what's your
Yeah, I like signals. Yeah,
Okay.
I went out to and saw CPLs in action on the Long Island Railroad
Oh, that must have been
a
fun.
week or so. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, so if you're in Riverside, then there's still a kind of like that's like the view from Cridge Street looking more towards the west. Okay, we're good there.
Oh, fun! A BNSF engine on the Metrolink.
Yeah, so they used to do that. I'm forgetting the specific
Like
context.
regularly?
Oh yeah, for about a year and a half in 2016, 2017, there were I'm forgetting if it was an axle count issue or if it was an issue with their cab cars. But they for about a year and a half, and right when the Paris Valley line opened, so I don't know if you know anything about the Paris Valley line.
I know it opened in like 2015, 2016. I know where it goes.
Yeah. That was
It
like,
has like new track construction along like the alignment of a previously abandoned line, right?
no, it was actually still active. So that was, so it
Oh,
technically
okay.
technically correct in the way that it's used to be the main line between Waterman Junction and San Diego, but like it's still it's been a branch line and been in service as a branch line ever since. It just got severed
Okay.
south of Paris. Yeah, so the Southern California Railway Museum in Paris also would highly recommend going there. Oh my god, they're incredible. But like the
Heard
main
good
line,
things about it.
yeah, the branch line, you like the when it was a main line, it used to go past that museum and then down through a canyon. They literally built the railroad like on the floor of the canyon, or like it's not going to wash out. It's dry right now in California.
Yep.
So yeah,
Reminds me of how the Russians once tried to build a railroad across the winter ice of Lake Baikal.
oh my god, oh no,
Yep.
oh
Yep.
no,
That really happened. And there is, to this day, a train at the bottom of that mile-deep lake.
that is, oh my gosh, man, I that is like one of the most Russian things I've ever heard in my entire life. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we can build across it. Ice doesn't melt here. It's fine.
I mean, they did intend it to be temporary,
This
but
is
like
fair.
they just thought the ice was thick enough.
I love that. Obviously, these are a little older because like most of the F-59s have been retired. I think there's 4 still in service at this point. But the station platform is good. Amtrak 3, if you're there in the summer, typically will get to Riverside around sunset. So just like making sure, and so like both, if it's running late, it'll get to Riverside around sunrise, and if it's early or on time, it'll get to Riverside at sunset during the summer, which is cool. So getting it at the station, those like searchlights at the east end of the station are really cool too. I like them quite a bit. But then this is the interesting part, right?
For a while.
What's
but yeah, but I've wanted to take the Southwest Chief for a while. Never ridden any stretch of it. Yeah, coming into LA, doesn't it? Yeah, I've heard that like one of the big drawbacks is that like if it's on time into LA, it arrives like ridiculously early, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 a.m.
It's typically, I want to say, around like 6 a.m. arrival time into Los Angeles. My dad actually just filmed it like with, I think, the Operation Lifesaver engine on the point, like getting into LA with, he films so much for the channel. I love him. He's great.
It's so great to have Railfan family members.
He's the reason why I Railfan. I mean, I love him a lot.
A generational thing.
Oh yeah. It's but he's gone to downtown LA a few times to get like 3 going into LA Union Station across the LA River. So it'll get in it'll get in like early morning if it's on time. I've seen it upwards of like 13 hours late before, but then it also had like a freight engine on the point, which was an SD40-2, which was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was wild. That was a whole thing a few years ago.
In Heritage 3?
Yeah, no, it's Heritage 1 actually. It was a goat. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's an interesting thing here. This is on this is above University Avenue, and I actually really like this little spot. It's an elevated section, but check this out. You got an abandoned old Southern Pacific, NE Pacific Electric branch line over here, which I love.
Nice.
And then over here, you've got both the Metrolink storage tracks as well as the BNSF line. And that's what this is.
Pacific Electric must rise again.
What is it?
The Pacific Electric must rise again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have their map. Actually, my dad got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago. I have a 1912 map of the, like, theirs just like in my living room. I'll have to show you that at some point. But go for it.
I might like to have some Pacific Electric memorabilia, but it would just make me too sad.
That's fair. It's so, the infrastructure, especially around Riverside for the PE, is very interesting. When I used to work for a local elected official, there was a proposal to revitalize the old PE line between downtown Riverside and the mall at Tyler. And that wound up not going anywhere, but it would have been incredible to see that like just happen. And I don't know. We just don't like trains in
as a light rail line or as a heritage streetcar or what?
I think it was the initial proposal was going to be for like a modern trolley system, like the kind that just closed in DC. Yeah. But Riverside actually is a really good bus system, so like it's not the end of the world, but like it's it's oh, I will say Riverside also has those like horrific looking like streetcar looking buses, like not trolley buses, but
Oh,
like
those. Yes. No, I know what those are.
trolley
Yeah.
buses. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Trolley space buses.
Yeah, like talk about Cheesecake Factory. Like, oh my god, it's like
Right. Yeah.
90s like what is it? Instead of a instead of a gadget bond, those are kitsch spawn. Like those are
Kitschbahn.
kitsch spawn.
That's a great term.
So yeah, that's like the overpass, and this is so that now we're actually getting into like the real shots. I just kind of wanted to show you like that's like the general like vibe of it. There's old packing houses around here as well, which are also super cool. Just like a fun place to explore. And now we get to this spot, which I would actually highly recommend going to. First off, there's cats in this canal, which like if you like cats, I mean you got to see the cats.
Nice. Yeah. Sure.
But then, fucking hell, I didn't realize that there was going to be a container there. Ay. I don't know if that's still going to be there as of now. But nice March 2024. Yeah. We'll see. At least a couple years ago, you can get trains going by this old packing house here, reflected in the reflected in the canal, that sort of stuff.
And the canal. Okay. Yeah, that's a cool shot.
Yeah, and so like if Amtrak's running on time in the evening, that's a perfect location to get Amtrak going through. I don't know if this container's still there. I'll have to check when I visit in December. Speaking of the Paris Valley line, this actually was the spot that I went to the most when I was living in this area going to UCR. This is the junction of the Paris Valley line. So this is the Citrus Connector. Okay. So the San Jacinto branch used to go off here. There used to be a depot right here. Metrolink built this connector to expedite stuff to the Hunter Park station, which which nobody uses. But if you drive down this this here, and there's also cats down here, it's great. You can just kind of like hang out at the end here, and then like it's actually a cool place to get Metrolinks coming off of the connector in the morning, because it's you get side lit, but it's like this interesting, like there's these old buildings here, etc. Like it's a fun spot to go to, and that's just very quickly off. Oh, there used to be you'll love this actually. I forgot about this. The world's largest paper cups right here, and that's like a peak, like
largest paper cup.
The world's largest paper cup is right there.
Wow. Yeah. I wouldn't even notice that that's a monument.
Yeah.
If someone hadn't told me it was the world's largest paper cup, I would just think that's some HVAC thingamajig.
Yeah, it used to have a significantly different paint scheme that made it look much more paper cup-y. I mean, talk about kitsch. Like it had like some red lines on it and all that stuff. But
nice.
I can't imagine like taking over this warehouse and being like, what do we do with the cup? gotta synergize with the cup.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that it's registered as a local historic monument. You can't take it away.
I don't think it is. I think it just, oh my god. That's incredible. I don't know. I think it's just like I don't know. It's a very SoCal thing though, which I kind of,
yes, very SoCal.
I love. Highgrove, also a spot that I would recommend going to if you have time. It's fun. It's actually like some of the angles here, especially with like the new bridges over I-215 in the background, are really cool. It's just kind of like you can get like trains coming up and out of the valley on the west side, west side of Highgrove. But the cool shots, yeah. Okay, well, this is kind of like the view from like the ground at Highgrove. This, unfortunately enough, I will say this this searchlight signal bridge is no longer in service, which like really sucks. Most of like the big bridges have been taken out of service in like the last 4 years, I want to say. They just did like a big like PTC upgrade and took them out, but it's still cool. I like the angle, and this is like, there used to be, so I'm actually, this is like another fun fact of this area. It's now not in service anymore, or not in service, but like not existent anymore. There used to be a park here called Gage Park, named after the Gage Canal. If I remember correctly, it had a lot of issues with chromium-6 poisoning, or like pollution and stuff specifically. And so like no longer exists, and there's like remediation work going here. But when I was a kid, it was not Gage Park, but Cage Park, because somebody had removed the bit of the G there. And so I grew up being like, oh, it's Cage Park. And It's the old Pacific Electric that parallels the BNSF through this area and stuff. But good old Cage Park with all of its chromium pollution.
Good old Cage Park.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can see like this is the PE.
The Inland Empire.
What's up?
The Inland Empire, ladies and gentlemen.
God, yeah. I don't miss it. I miss it, but I don't miss it. This is another. I will say I've been expecting this bridge to Barton Avenue or Barton Road to like go out of service for like over a decade and a half now, and they just haven't done it. This is you can get to this spot by getting off La Cadena, going down here and parking here. I will say, just broadly speaking, there are going to be a few spots that we talk about that are like iffy in regards to trespassing. So just like be aware of that. Like I've never gotten in trouble doing any of these things, but also like, I don't know, like your mileage will vary and there's a lot more like special agents out here nowadays. On the ground level, that's like a fine shot and it's pretty cool. But this is like for the near track.
Great shot that you got with the one intermodal clearing and the next one already visible in the back.
So on ground level, you get this like really interesting thing, and you can see kind of like a little bit this like little red section over here, like in the far distance. That's the UP flyover at Colton. So if you're like,
nice.
So if there's a UP train going over the flyover, and you get a BNSF train in the foreground here, you can get like a two train meet sort of deal. I love this area of Colton. It's very overbuilt now, but it's still worthwhile. It's worthwhile going to. This is kind of this is like from like a decade ago, but this is like the more.
Yeah, I could tell from
the Santa Fe. You can get like just going like in this like little dirt patch here, but it's also like a fun set of reverse curves. I like it. It's cool. And then nice. This is kind of from a little bit further down, like here on Terrace Avenue. Again, overbuilt as heck now, but there's a lot of like local rail fans will kind of camp out on this hill on Terrace Avenue. There's like a whole like group of folks that like older rail fans from like Norco, Upland that like rail fan a bunch along the Cajon Sub, and this is like one of their favorite spots. And yeah, it's cool. I like this is like the first like real view of the San Bernardinos you get. That's Cajon Pass over there. We'll get to it soon enough. And yeah, and then this over here, this is the last remaining industry on the old Pacific Electric Riverside branch actually. BNSF now switches it, but it's very interesting. And then we're almost to and that's like a zoomed in view of it. Again, Amtrak, when it's going west, you can get it there. That's fun. It's kind of the opposite view of it. This on the right is actually the new switch over to the Wheel Company. I got that from, was he here? Yeah, it was from here-ish. You can kind of like, it was from walking up, I think, right here. So this is a crew change point for UP trains. So UP trains, when they're going onto the Yuma subdivision at Colton, they will typically get on at West Riverside and then get off at what they call the Mount Vernon connector. This is a crew change point for them here. I've never gotten into trouble standing up there, so like should be fine. But there's been a lot of like, I'll get into it later, but there's been a lot of like theft of containers along the subdivision, and so like, yeah, they've kind of stepped up their police presence and such. That's the view from the other way. Also pretty cool. Hey, on this section, the mountains are so like looming that they just make up the entire background of it, which I adore.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah, I like it when you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you can get that kind of shot.
And then here's
nice over under.
Yeah, here's the
Colton flyover.
Yeah, here's the flyover. You probably are familiar with it. That shot from K Street. The folks here, like in the houses here, are super nice, and they have very nice dogs. So I've just hung out here before and for like 6 or 7 hours and just like film trains. Yeah, it's great. Same thing here. Like you can get UP trains going over it as well. It's the flyover. Like you're gonna get so many trains here. I will say the one thing is if you're here, you're not gonna hear westbound trains on the other side of the bridge just at all. Like even if they're honking their horns, you're just not gonna be able to hear them. I don't know why, just the way that sound carries. So that you're gonna have no warning. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Is this from like the north or from the southwest corner? They have no issue. I've never had any issues being here. You can get some like interesting shots like here as well.
Cool.
Yeah. And then that also just, I gotta include that just because,
Awesome. No way that's still there, right?
No, I wish it was. This was 2022. Both my dad and I filmed it there.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the other thing where, so we're actually getting into like the Cajon part of the subdivision. So this is this is Rana. It's where my dad's Instagram tag actually comes from. All Reddit Rana. This is one of my favorite spots along the entire subdivision, because you get this really cool look all the way up to the Metrolink facility, as well as if you look around, I mean, you can't really see it here, but if you look around, you get, well, this view here down to the flyover and the tracks and stuff. And this is the late afternoon shot that you can get here. It is so cool. Oh my God. Like just sitting there, chilling out for like a little bit and just like zooming in. This is the current signal bridge. It's just so SoCal. Like, it's just like, this is like one of the most like quintessentially like LA Basin Inland Empire shots I've ever gotten.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's like a McDonald's just down the street. There's a really good Mexican restaurant super close by as well. It's like Leno's Rico Taco. If you ever like are in the area, like you get like some like nachos or some tacos and just like go chill there for like an hour or something. It's great.
Hell yeah.
And then this is like, yeah. And it's like just get this like really fun look coming around. Okay. For a while up here, there used to actually be a shoe fly, and so like this is straight now. But there used to be like a shoe fly where they'd go around and stuff, and so I just spent a lot of time. I'm gonna like kind of scroll through this pretty quickly because we're gonna get to the interesting part. This is here. It's just okay. I wish that this was more interesting. And then this is also from this like little dirt lot. Metrolink has like a shortcut track. This used to be, I believe, the Union Pacific track that used to go around BNSF's yard or Santa Fe's yard. That starts here, and then it actually goes up and cuts off B yard, and it gets back up right next to the San Bernardino A yard. Right. Yeah, which is fascinating. I didn't know that existed until like a decade ago. And there's this like really cool deck truss bridge that you can get. So if you
oh, did you look at that? Yeah.
So if you see that there's like a Metrolink train that's like about to leave San Bernardino, you can kind of like go here and then get it going over the deck truss bridge. It's such an old structure, and there's very few like deck truss bridges kind of left in this area that like are from that time period. The only one else I can think of like it is like the old Santa Fe bridge over the Santa Ana on their Redlands branch, and that was demolished a few years ago. That was a huge bridge. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it. That was a gigantic bridge.
I must have at some point.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. All right, now we're actually on the part of Cajon that everybody like knows.
Yeah.
So Mount Vernon. This it doesn't show up on Google Maps, but they actually just opened the bridge. This is the old one. The old one was like very structurally unsound, but yeah, there's some good shots here available. The Metrolink line out to Los Angeles actually does like a little flyover over the BNSF, so you can get some interesting shots there. And then this is the view looking east. I used to have a friend who actually worked in the station. What?
Those MyJack cranes and the MyJack cranes moving around in the background.
Yeah, so you can just like literally just.
Yeah, I used to go and watch the. Yeah, I went to college in Portland, not far from the Brooklyn Yard. Yeah, at Lewis and Clark, and I would go walk down to the, over the Selwood Bridge and over to the Brooklyn Yard. Well, pretty long walk. It was like 2 hours of a walk. But when it was a nice day on a weekend, I used to love doing that and watch the MyJack cranes shuttle around.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that sounds
fun.
super cool. Honestly, like I just like it. They're almost like what is it? I don't know if you ever played like StarCraft or another like RTS like game like as a kid, but like that's what it reminds me of. It's kind of like your like worker units. Your like worker units.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're like the SCVs of of the BNSF yard here or something. Just like hijack crane, we're good to go, sir. And this is kind of like the view from the station platform, so you can just chill here and just like watch the cranes go and watch the trains go.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, and they don't have brakes, right? Because they're so top heavy that they could like collapse if they stop too fast.
I actually don't know. So that's fascinating.
So I think you have to drive them. I heard that factoid once. I'm not sure if it's true, but like I think you have to drive them you know, like a like a racing video game where like where you don't have brakes, you just pulse forward, bit by bit, and then you coast to a stop when you need to stop.
I would.
So
Oh my god.
so to move them precisely, you need to really apply the right amount of energy for the exact right length of time
That's fascinating.
so that it coasts to a stop where it needs to be.
I would love a Gran Turismo game that just had hijack cranes
Right?
in it. That'd be that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so you can just like park in this east parking lot and just like chill on the platform. I've never gotten any issues from it. It's cool. The station's amazing. Like if you can like like the original one like burnt down in the early 1900s, but like speaking of Moorish design from like earlier, you know, like you got this like concrete like Moorish looking structure, you know, like it was great.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's a gorgeous station. Like I think it's one of my favorite stations in all of SoCal. Like it's I don't know. I didn't appreciate it as much when I was living there. This is also the point.
Sure.
Like this isn't the point where Arrow like stops, but that's the downtown station, which is much more boring. But I would imagine you'd probably want to check out Arrow while you're in town.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah.
It got those like hydrogen powered.
Those
things.
are hydrogen powered.
One of them is. Yeah, the rest are diesel. They are. This is the fun thing. I feel like you'd also appreciate this. Frustratingly for me, because I don't like the paint scheme, but it's just an interesting like synergy thing. The paint scheme of Arrow is actually the same more or less as the paint scheme of San Bernardino's bus system, which is fascinating to me.
I mean, I like that when a transit authority harmonizes their paint scheme across all their different forms of transit.
Yeah, it does.
When they've got a good united brand identity. I mean, bonus if the paint scheme is actually good.
Yeah,
which it isn't always.
I think it's funny, especially just the phrase "united brand identity" with Metrolink, because like right now, they've got what like two different paint schemes on their engines and like 4 different ones on their cars right now.
4 ones on the cars, yes.
Oh, it's wild. And the MP36.
And now they're running Metrolink cars on Caltrain, or they were for a little while.
Yeah.
Before the electrics came in.
Well, and those are actually going into service on the San Joaquins very soon as well, or not on the Capital Corridors actually.
Oh yes, I feel like I've heard of
I'm excited about that. I actually might go to San Francisco specifically to see those next year. They look really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, so I mean, Arrow's cool. The Redlands station itself, I don't have like a video of it handy because the tape that I filmed it on got corrupted, which I'm very sad about. But I used to go to high school in Redlands, so I used to go down to the station like all the time. And the Redlands station itself is also gorgeous. Like Redlands is Redlands, but like the station is definitely worthwhile to like go to. It's super cool. It's like
I went to 1 year of college in Redlands and then was like, yeah, I'm getting out of there.
Oh yeah, it's so stifling. Like I don't know, it's just there's nothing to do there.
And she was from Seattle, so like, talk about heaven and hell.
Yeah, I've done the inverse like culture shock moving here, and I'm like, oh, this is like actually nice. I can be in a place that doesn't feel terrible. So that's the view looking west with the station kind of on the left. That like new overpass structure is built, I want to say like a decade ago. Yeah, like a fun like little S-curve shot there. It's always cool kind of seeing like the jigs and the jags. The zigs and the zags.
The zigs and the zags, the jigs and the jags. Yeah.
So I don't have a shot of it, but this is also just a fun thing.
I didn't even know that flyover existed.
Yeah. So this is the Palmdale cutoff, and it goes over the old Santa Fe line to Pasadena, which is now the Metrolink Los Angeles line, or the San Bernardino line rather. Until recently, there used to be a spur that in service that actually went off here, the old Rialto spur, but that no longer exists either here. But there used to be like a crossover like of the PE here, and then SP just kind of was like, sure, we'll just build it out. That's super fun. This is just north of that, so this is still like a military train there. This is at this overpass here, which is fine. Like, I'm just like kind of showing it off so you like have the knowledge of like this is what's around here. Oh no, this isn't here. What is that? Oh, I inverted it. Sorry, this is the shot that's available here, and I actually do like this shot a lot. You get this like really fun S curve here of southbounds coming through, and so if you get a southbound at like Keenbrook or Canyon, you can pretty easily chase it back down to here and like get it like going over Rialto. So like if you have, or not Rialto, like in Rialto, so you have like a fun train that you're like chasing down, you can kind of get it here, which I think is like super cool.
To do that,
yeah. And then this is if you do the inverse and you see like if you're down like Pepper Avenue in Colton, which like actually would recommend going to because it's really fun, and you see like a fun like northbound going, you can say, well, I'm gonna go to Foothill, not Foothill, where is it? Is it Foothill? No, it's Baseline. Go to Baseline and be like, oh my gosh, I want to get it going over here, and you can barely see it and stuff, but that's what the angle is here. Also note the standard cab CSX-8 second out, which is my favorite kind of engine. But that you get this like fun S curve sort of situation there, which I find super fun. And then like there's two super impressive bridges that the Palmdale cutoff does here. This is over Lytle Creek. That old derailment that happened back in the early 90s on the SP, that happened in this area when it like kind of destroyed an entire neighborhood.
One, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've been considering doing a Tours Cabinet episode about that because, like, the series. Yeah, I've read the NTSB reports for it, and just the series of things that went wrong is just the perfect illustration of the Swiss cheese model.
Oh yeah.
If just one of like the 10 improbable things that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
And the NTSB. Their ultimate conclusion was like, yeah, this couldn't have been avoided. There's no safety adjustments that we could make to prevent this from happening again. This was just such an unlikely chain of events that it was sort of inevitable.
It's almost like a cryptid in that way, where it's just kind of like or like Eldritch in sort of way where it's just like it just happened and nobody could prevent it from happening. If I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, is this neighborhood here the one that was destroyed, like on Duffy Street, or do you know?
I think so. Yeah.
So,
Duffy Street. Yeah, Duffy Street is where it happened.
So just north of that 210 crossover is where that is. This bridge is also just like, I mean, look at that shit.
Yeah,
like that.
I think, I mean, you could make a movie about the 1989 train crash there that just unfolds in real time.
Oh yeah.
Some parts of the NTSB report just feel so cinematic. Just the way their fate was sealed when the head crew called, radioed the helper crew and said, "Do you have all your dynamics?"
Mm-hmm.
And they responded, "Yeah, I'm in full." And the head crew meant, are all of your dynamic brakes on both your engines working? And they interpreted, "Yeah, I'm in full," to mean yes, which means this train has adequate braking.
Yeah.
But then the helper crew, who knew that the dynamic brakes were not working on one of the engines, interpreted it as meaning, is the current amount of dynamic braking power all you've got? And they said yes.
Jeez. Yeah, and there's like structural issues at fault there too, because like SP was so power short at that time, and like its engines were like failing on the regular because it had been cash strapped and it had been jettisoned by the Santa Fe. Like, I mean, this was like right after the purchase.
Even after that miscommunication, even if the head crew had learned that one of the helper engines didn't have sufficient dynamic brakes, they still would have had enough power to brake the train. If another one of the head engines hadn't had its dynamic brakes fail, which none of them knew about.
Yeah, and it's so catastrophic just hearing like, I know, just like, because there's both a like kind of externality part of it. It's like, I don't know, it's interesting like being a railroader just in general, because you have like so many things that are like both within your control and outside of your control, and like none of those crews had any control over like the dire financial state of their company, and it led to a series of things
and then you just have the last Yeah, and then you have just the last half hour or so of it where the train just gets faster and
Yeah.
faster going down the mountain, and the crew realizes, well, we're going to die.
Yeah, it's horrible. I can't imagine like that slow motion. You know, they say that like time slows down like when you die and stuff, but I can't imagine like that sort of inexorable like. I don't know. It's terrifying to think about, genuinely.
Yeah, it is.
So, if you
anyway,
yeah, Baseline does this like really interesting bridge here, but like you can also zoom in on like on this sort of like this like another military train. Quite a few of those actually during specific seasons. But I love those bridges because they are very unique to the 1960s, where they're like not necessarily prefabricated, but they're also like very efficiently constructed. I don't really know of any other bridges that are constructed like this one exactly in California, at least, because they're just very much of their time. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so back over to the BNSF. I'm gonna skip over Baseline and Ono because they're both so overbuilt now that it's like it's really not worth doing anything with it. But here's kind of the first big one. This area here, you can zoom in super tight and down. BNSF will oftentimes store like cars here, but if you zoom in, you have this like really fun like little. This was like a once in a lifetime like consist like 3 years ago. It was not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
2 more on
3 years ago. Oh yeah, 2022. That consists 2022.
Yes.
I thought this was I thought this was from like 2010.
No, it was 3 years ago. It was because it was the wildest thing. Like I don't know. I saw it go by.
The smoking Grinstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
smoking Grinstein green. I saw a friend of mine sent me a question, a few years ago. A friend of mine texted me, how common is it to see a train composed entirely of engines? And I was like, yeah, that happens sometimes. He was like 100 or more engines. I was like 100 or more? Well, that's rare. And he was like, look at what I saw in Wyoming. And he happened to be, I'm not actually, to this day, I'm not sure why he was in that part of Wyoming. Why would anyone, unless they're a coal miner or a rail fan, be in that part of Wyoming? But he was in the PRB area.
But like,
yeah, he was. I don't think so. He strikes me as the type of person who would do that, but I am not aware of him being into that. Right. But yeah, he was in the Powder River Basin area of Wyoming, and he sent me a photo of sure enough, 100 Grinstein 90 Max just moldering on a siding in the PRB.
Yeah. It's wild. I think so many, man, there's such a missed opportunity with those 70 Max to just rebuild them, and that's my dream, just have BNSF have what CSX is doing, and just BNSF just have a fleet of SD70 Maces, because SD70 Mace is also such a cool name for an engine. It's a mace, right? It's gonna beat the crap out of you, sort of deal.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's you can get that shot kind of zoomed in over there, which is fun. The interesting thing also is that on the UP line, if you go it's because they're parallel at this point, they're very closely paralleling each other. There's all these side roads that you can just kind of go over and be oh cool, I want to get it. Oh my gosh, get a UP train going over one of these unique bridges, or there's my dad got this video completely surrounded by warehouses in this area, and you can just in essence force perspective on it and pretend that it's in this really, I don't know, rural environment. And it's unfortunate because that's the reality of Cajon Pass nowadays up until the national forest starts, is that it is extremely overdeveloped, but there's still opportunities for shots. It just is not as many. It's another one where I think that's here, but unfortunately enough now it's taken over by a warehouse. But same thing with here. And this is Verdemont. You've probably heard of Verdemont, the old grain elevator. Check this out on the map. You get this grain elevator, and then it is completely surrounded by warehouses. It's being held up at gunpoint. It's so.
Where's the? Yeah, does the grain elevator still work? Is there grain being milled there? Huh? Where does the grain come from? Because I would assume that it came from the LA basin before that all got filled in with cul-de-sacs.
If I remember correctly, and this is the case for most most of the mills in the LA basin is that it is it's a distribution elevator. So there's cars that are and this, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe what's happening here is that the cars are like basically being dumped, and then they are being put into the elevator or something along those lines. Like I'm not exactly sure, honestly.
Okay.
That's at least what I remember like it being, but that might be incorrect. But the fun thing is they have an X rear grand tunnel motor. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, speaking of Philip and Schultz, there's a rear grand tunnel motor right there. It's still there. It's still kind of stubbornly clinging on. There used to be like an NW2 there. That was like the old plant switcher was an NW2 in cargo paint, but you can still like get this shot perfectly easily. This was the first westbound run of Tier 4 ET44 ECs on BNSF ever into California. And that's just like that's just like here in this area, so that's easy enough to get to. There's the old tunnel motor, old friend. You can actually see in the background there's a BNSF train kind of like going on the left side over there, and so you can get some like fun angles there, and another one kind of coming by the
we had in Eugene, so I don't live in Eugene anymore, but in Eugene, where I lived for most of my life up until recently, just a couple years ago, it might still be around. But I remember looking for it earlier this year, spending a few days, few consecutive days looking for it, and did not find it. We had an unpatched cotton belt GP38, possibly the last one that would just hang around and do and just do yard jobs, do local stuff, go around to industries in the Eugene area.
That's fascinating. Was it a GP60 by any chance? Because I think I saw that. I might have seen that same one in Portland earlier this year.
Maybe it was a GP60, and maybe it is in Portland now.
Yeah.
But like, I genuinely didn't know there were any of them left until one surfaced in Eugene just a few years ago. It was not common knowledge that there were any of them left on the system. Yeah. Until one of them showed up like around COVID times. One of them showed up in Eugene and was doing stuff in the yard for a few years.
It's fascinating because like as large as UP is and as efficient as it has been over the last 15 years at like, I don't know, just like repainting all of its like legacy engines. I remember like until like I think like 2016, there was still a single SD40-2 that was painted in its as delivered paint scheme, like not without the not with like the big Union Pacific on the side, but like the small Union Pacific on the side, the we will deliver, or like the safety slogan.
We will deliver on it.
Yeah, like the old that old thing, and that was still in service like as of 2015. So like there can be these like little remnants that like still last. There was like chassis system engines still painted on CSX until very recently, like in the last couple of years. Like it's wild. Like they're survivors.
Yeah, hiding out somewhere. Yes, it's totally and those things are not widely reported. You really, you have to discover them. You have to go out hunting for them and discover them, like hunting for a endangered animal species.
Oh yeah,
it's like that's like what hunting for a steam engine in China. Have you seen my episode about my unsuccessful hunt for a steam engine in China?
That's like, I think that's one of the
might still be a few out there.
There might be.
Nobody knows.
I think that's like one of the appeals of railfanning that like I think both of us like really share is that like that thrill of the hunt, the thrill of the hunt. Like it's, I don't know.
Absolutely.
There's something like so. I've always likened railfanning to like a combination of like drag racing and fishing, where like once you get a train and you're chasing it, like you're going at like 100 miles an hour and you're like trying to catch it up until then you just have to have the patience of a saint to like just wait for them. But I just wanted to show off that consist again because oh my god. Unfortunately this area it's all warehoused up. This is like as of last year I think it's a warehouse that's being built here. It's so sad because like I grew up out here and like it used to be like it was scrublands and it was all invasive species. Like it looked like crap, but like warehouses look worse, that's kind of kind of where I'm at with that. So all right, Devore Devore is fun.
Devore.
Now we're actually
Okay, I
getting
know
into the
about.
mountains.
So I know these names. I know all these names, but I have no idea where they are on the pass. This is Devore.
This
All
is
right,
Devore.
I know that now.
So yeah, just for context, so this is Devore. Devore is situated right to the south of the 215-15 interchange. And this is the point where both the BNSF and the UP cross over Lytle Creek or Cajon Creek. Is this Cajon Creek? Yes, Cajon Creek. Yeah, Lytle Creek goes up into like the mountains up there, which I love. I've hiked up there before, and yeah, so this point where they cross over the creek is really cool because you can both get it from like the bridge, which I adore because you can get like right here and kind of like get this really interesting like look at it. You got these like eucalyptus trees that are down there, so again, landscape full of invasive plants, right? But it's always fun like seeing this like quadruple tracked racetrack in essence here, and then from the level down here at this point on Glen Helen Parkway, you get this interesting shot of another one of those like unique bridges with like all of these like fun little tan looks on them. I like it if you've got like a southbound that you've been like chasing. And back in the day, actually, Route 66 was not connected between here and Kenwood, and so you actually had to get on the 15, and then get off it. It was a lot slower because there was usually traffic on the 215 because it's California. So 66 is usually faster, so you can just like pick up like a
84 in the.
What's up?
84 in the Columbia Gorge is like that, and I remember being on a drive, coming back from the Wallowas in northeastern Oregon. There was no rail fanning on that trip other than just passing through the gorge. But I remember, me and two friends went to the Wallowas and heading back into Portland on our last day. There was a truck that overturned right at the choke point on 84, where it was the only road on the Oregon side, like the few miles where it's the only road on the Oregon side of the gorge.
Yeah.
One truck merged too close in front of another truck and shut down both lanes.
Was that the Onions, or was that a different one?
Yes, it was the Onions.
I remember you sending me that
video. I love that you... Yes. I sent you the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I sent you that video. I was like, I love that you know about the onion wreck, but no. I did. I sent you that video. I guess that came up in conversation.
It did. I'll have to like at some point if I post this on YouTube, I'll have to like put in like the little like tiny clip of like the onions or something at this point and be like just for context.
Yeah,
onions.
But it wasn't onions. No. It was corn.
Corn.
It was corn.
Come on down and get some corn, or we will sacrifice your newborn.
I thought it was onions because you see that you do see that in Eastern Oregon, and sometimes on 84 heading west of Portland, you do see open top trucks full of onions.
Yeah,
but it was corn. It was
gotcha.
Whole unshucked ears of corn.
I love that so much.
Spilled over the entirety of Interstate 84 and and shut everything down, and Washington 14 was totally backed up.
Yeah.
And we ended up just having to pull over and wait a few hours.
Yeah.
And and everyone did that. Everyone just parked their cars there on the freeway and just hung out.
Yeah, I mean, as you do. I mean, like if a metric ton of corn spills in your life, what else can you do aside from wait? That seems like an old proverb, like.
Exactly.
Speaking of weirdness, there's like an old like complex up in this area that used to, if I remember correctly, used to be like one of those like they used to have exotic cats there. I think big cats was like the big thing.
Oh, nice.
Like a little cult, I think, in this area that used to have like a big cat thing. I think it's been demolished now. But
there are more big cats in captivity in the U.S. alone than there are in the wild.
Yeah, makes sense. It's a very United States thing.
Yeah.
If you drive on the other side of Glen Helen Parkway and go on Glen Helen Road, which is confusing, you can get up to this spot here, which allows you to hike up to this hill, and you get this fun shot here. So In the distance at this control point, this is the connector track between the Palmdale Cutoff and the Cajon Subdivision, which was built when Santa Fe and Southern Pacific were trying to merge. They're like,
right, yes, shouldn't paint so fast.
Oh yeah, that old Kodachrome niceness. So this is
Kodachrome, give me the nice bright summers. Yeah.
You're gonna get this video demonetized.
No, they're not that. They're not that persnickety.
Yeah, so after the end...
Lasted less than 10 seconds.
No, I know. I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
I'll go for
I have multiple times I've had to file... I've had to contest claims that people have put on my Democracy Manifest video, like, because that clip has been in so many memes and been in so many videos and been all over the internet for years. Lots of different people have tried to copyright it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so I'm just playing whack-a-mole with people trying to copyright claim that video, and I have to contest it and be like, no, this is a meme. This belongs to the people of the internet.
Oh yeah.
And and every time they do release their claim.
That's good. Yeah.
But it's annoying that I keep having to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So a little bit past the crossover track, you can kind of just like follow. I'll also say, like, when you're going in this area, you got to get a forest adventure pass, which is just like getting into the national forest territory. Okay. Yeah, like a forest adventure pass. Yeah. You get like a day pass. So just one for California.
At least for Oregon. Yes, I have one of those for Oregon.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to get one for California.
No, you can get them at gas stations all along the pass and stuff. They're super convenient. So this is at this grade crossing here. It's just like the view of the BNSF track. I mean, like, again, we're still in like the chaparral. Like it's fine. But then this is interesting for the UP. Like this is
nice.
This is fun, and this is the one that I really like. On a clear day, which is very rare to get out here because it's California. You can actually get San Jacinto in the back, like Mount San Jacinto in the background here, which is cool. I love it. It's super fun. This is the old Mojave Flyer that no longer runs. Rest in peace. Same thing with the Triclops ST60s. Also rest in peace.
The Triclopses.
Oh, Triclopses are so hot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if there's any like like that trend of like 3 windowed cabs, like with that micro trend. Oh
yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, there's something about that.
Yeah, they're just so goofy. I don't know. I love them. So yeah, and then this is kind of like the ground view of the crossover area. So this is here. So that you get this like fun. Most of these, by the way, I've gone like most of the shots on here, except for like maybe 2 or 3 in total in this video, I've driven to on my like 2-wheel drive sedan. So like I'll let you know when it gets a little gnarly, but like I treat my car like a truck. Yeah. So like, I don't know, like,
right, yes,
4-wheel drive rental vehicle would probably be best for coming down here, or just like your own.
Yes, when I was a teenager, I put an unwanted amount of wear and tear on the family minivan, railfanning.
I love that so much. That's also just such a mood.
Railfanning, like up in the mountains, like going up to like, going up Forest Service roads in Oregon to go chase trains down the Cascade Sub in the minivan.
Yeah, and those are gnarly roads too. Like those are
they
like
sure are. I mean, it is a miracle that I never got stranded in the woods and had to stay the night in the minivan until a ranger showed up.
Yeah, I've almost had that happen a couple of times, and both were in Canada. Yeah. And so that was even like I've gotten my car into some difficult situation. November in Canada is I was originally going to go up there this month, and I got stuck in a snowdrift 2 years ago, and I got stuck in a ditch 1 year ago, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that this year.
Well, third time's the charm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm not going to Canada at all this month to just not deal with it. We're kind of still in like the crummy section of the pass. Like it's still check out like this engine though. It's got 2 sets of ditch lights. Like, I don't
It sure does.
I don't understand why, but it does.
It's interesting. What's the number? That should be something that. Yeah, that should be something that people. I love. Okay, yeah, one of my favorite railfan niches is like, when there's a unique engine on a system, that isn't intended to be special in any way, that isn't like a heritage unit, that just has one really niche, really weird little detail
Oh yeah, that's still loading. I was
like
using
that.
proxy media,
Like
so
there's something. I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say the BNSF Golden Swoosh, but there's the Golden Swoosh, but the Golden Swoosh is basically a special engine. There's like the BNSF one that had the Microsoft Train Simulator
right.
sticker on it. There's one where for a while there was like an extra B in BNSF
Yeah.
where like for some reason, seemingly as an intentional prank at the paint shop, I guess, because I have a hard time imagining how this could have been done by accident. There was a Heritage 2 BNSF that said BBNSF on both sides.
Yeah. Oh man. And I'm also thinking about like I still do love those like one-off paint schemes, but like, yeah, the little, because I'm just thinking of like the vomit bonnet. Like it's been so long since I've thought about the
vomit bonnet. Yes. Oh my God. It truly has been so long since I've thought about the vomit bonnet.
I hope somebody saves the vomit bonnet.
I remember I was on railfanning forums in I was in like middle school when they repainted the vomit bonnet into Heritage 3. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, honestly. And like I will say, Heritage 3 SD70 Max are like my favorite units on BNSF. I actually think that they
are classic.
They are brutal looking engines. Like they're so tough looking. Just in general, like Phase 3 works so well on EMD products, like Whitecaps, but I digress. So yeah, still got some stuff. UP like is pretty common on the pass, like not as much as it used to be because UP, but yeah, it's like in this area. You can just kind of like find some purchase by like driving this horse service road. It also gets like up along the tracks, so like you might get in trouble for it. I don't know. I never have. They've never given me any issues. Just don't. That's like the thing that like I always tell people, like when they're gonna be like near the tracks, just like don't be stupid. Like just like don't walk on the tracks or like set fire to things or like give people a reason to like give you problems, I think is the best way of putting it. Like I don't know.
Yeah
It's this is like up here on this hill, and you can just like look down. We're getting to the good part, I swear, because now we're in Keenbrook, and Keenbrook is like the last part of the pass where it's just like, oh my God, why do we have to go here? I'm doing it for completeness sake, so it's fine. It's fine. It's just fine. This is like where we're at the point where the San Andreas starts to cross the tracks, and so you get like this like a lot more dramatic mountains because we're in them. When I was a kid, I actually got stuck here in Keenbrook for like 5 hours because there was a train that was just stopped because it had air problems. So in 2005, like getting stuck at Keenbrook for like 5 hours, just like it was great. I hated it. Now we're in the fun part. There's a lot of people here.
Is that the big boy?
Yeah, that's the big boy. So
hell yeah.
This is up here. So this is a Forest Service road. I believe. Might as well be. It's a Forest Service road, and you can basically get up here. I think I was at this bend with a couple of railfans from Japan, along with my dad and a couple other folks. And I think like Charles Freericks was there as well, who's like, hi Charles, if you're watching this. And so like just looking down at that area is like super fun. I love it. It gives a lot of fun perspective. And this is like my first, like I would on the pass, like I would recommend getting this shot if you can. This is post fire, so it's a little bit more open than it usually is, but this is here. This is a little gnarly. This is alongside the UP right of way. Be very careful. Make sure that there's no, southbounds coming.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the shot. I mean, like that, like curve as the tracks approach Keenbrook from Blue Cut, I love because it gives like such like fun. There's so many like angle possibilities as well. You can zoom out like this, or you can zoom in like this, like my dad did here. Yeah, let's see it on one of the coal trains going to Mexico. So it's I would highly recommend this spot. Like this is, and it works for all three tracks. So typically this is on track 3, like this westbound's on track 3, this westbound's on track 2. It works for both, which is kind of rare on the pass, honestly. So yeah, I'd highly recommend going here if you can, if you feel safe to do so, et cetera, et cetera. This is also immediately post-fire in 2016. So it's a little bit overgrown now.
Yeah.
But this is here. And so if you see like there's a little like track here, you can like drive up here, and then there's like a little 4-wheel drive track, which is this on the left. This S curve is great. Like I love this S curve so much. Yeah, it's fantastic. And this is kind of the opposite view from the opposite side of the tracks. So that's here-ish. Yeah, it's like right here. So there's a little bit up the hill there, and you can kind of like look to the north, the northeast, and kind of get like southbounds coming down, another coal train from Mexico. And now we're at Blue Cut. And that's like one of the things that I think everybody knows on the pass is Blue Cut. Specifically, this area here.
Yeah.
All of the...
Yeah, I totally know Blue Cut.
Yeah, so that's...
I recognize this shot.
Mm-hmm. So it's classic. I mean, you can't not get it, you know, like when you're on the pass. So the holiday train they used to run. I'm going to kind of like speed run through a few of these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whee! Look at go. Kind of another one. It's actually like a great like mid-morning to late morning shot because it's a very low risk. It's what Blue Cut is like more than anything else, like in terms of like train watching, is that it's a good chase starter. So like you can just kind of like chill there for a while and just like watch a couple of eastbounds go through, and then like if you find one that you really like, you can then like take it up the pass depending on what track it goes up. Yeah. So that's always fun. This is a westbound at Cozy Dell, just past the grade crossing. So that is here. So if you go like Swarthout Canyon Road and you go down like here area and you take a right down there, that's what this is. And I like it. It's just like a fun little angle. It's pretty restrictive, but that's okay. I despise the Swarthout Canyon Road grade crossing shot actually, because it's so overplayed. Like, I don't know, it's fine, but like I see so many like photos taken here, I'm just like, it's so boring. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, because it's a great crossing, right? Like people want to hang out here and they want to get shots here, and it's like, I don't.
Right, sure.
It's fine. I don't think I ever will take the shot ever again in my life if I can avoid it. Like, there are so many better shots you can get that are like 5 feet away, or like a little bit more away. This is also like this is actually an even better shot for an eastbound. So this is...
Yeah, I know that one. I've seen that one.
Yeah, so this is the road. So in order to get to it, there's a side road that you need to take. And so it's off of the old Route 66 area. Where is it specifically? Where is it? Where did it go? Yeah, it's like you have to get off here. Oh yeah, I can go like through this area. Going up it about a quarter mile yields this shot. And if you go up even more, and then there's the big boy again, and going up even more, it yields this shot. So like this is right below the freeway. Functionally, you're at freeway height, and so like that's what you see. But you just have to like, you know, take this like really kind of gnarly 4-wheel drive track up here. I'd recommend like a truck or a high clearance SUV to get up here. And yeah, I love that shot. It's so much better than what you can get at the grade crossing. So is this. This is like the first of the like, hey, there's both Palmdale Cutoff and Cajon Sub trains going in the same shot opportunities. So you see the bare table in the background up top.
I mean, that's the best.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best thing about Cajon Pass.
Oh, yeah. So this is kind of the first one that really takes advantage of that. This is literally just right around the corner from the grade crossing. So the old cut where, I don't know if you knew this, but the California Southern Main Line that used to be here, it originally crossed Cajon Creek here. And so the cut where that is here, or here, I think. Yeah, because there used to be a bridge here before it got washed out. And so this shot is from ground level. So you can actually just kind of like see trains going through. So it's like I'm standing like here-ish, I want to say. And then like this is the shot like looking out. Yeah. There's a little bit further up on the cut. It's just where my dad filmed this one. Also fun, and you can like get UP trains like up top, which is also great. And then this is the last one for the Cajon section, which like there's not really anything between here and Cajon, frankly. Like it's pretty boring. This is shot from, I want to say like this.
Is that the Bush 41 engine?
No.
Third out?
No. So that's the yeah, it's shot here. That is the EMDX. I think it's like 1503. It was their tier 4 demonstrator unit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this was right after 41 was retired, actually. But yeah, this is one of 2 times I saw it in my entire life.
Cool.
It was cool. So yeah, that's Riverside to Cajon. If you want to like keep going, we're more than welcome to do so. But we also can like come back to this after you get back from Paris and just do the other parts. Then it's been taking a while with this. What?
Yeah. I think that's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to pack, and I'm seeing some friends tonight. But yeah, thank you so much.